you so much. Thanks for this great honor, and thanks for giving an opportunity to interact with like-minded people here. Uh, so basically, the whole objective today about the emerging technology and probably how we can manage this. But in my view, I think along with this, there are a lot of newer challenges which India industry, especially the digital world of our economy is facing, which is emanating out of lot many challenges, including cyber. But I think we have seen radical transformation in recent year, and that too thanks to the pandemic, thanks to the like-minded people at policy making process. Then, of course, the demonetization also helped us to move on digital adoption. Not many factors have helped us, but the revolution has considerably changed the way we have done we have seen the financial services delivered in the country, the kind of other activities like supply chain or ease of doing any transaction using digital technology. That has helped us a lot in terms of the ease and convenience for the society. But the same time, we stride forward in digital journey. It encounters several cybersecurity challenges also. My objective is not talking only about the cyber, but there are a lot of inherent issues as we grow as a world superpower and the way we are growing with our the economy. A few I think a point which I thought it is appropriate to flag in this August audience, because be it banking, be it telecommunication, be it any other business today, we are literally having a lot of dependency. One of the best one of the best example, if I can talk about the chip manufacturing. What happened 2 3 years ago, and what India has taken radical step today, that we will have chip manufacturing in homegrown plants. Something similar today, the inherent IT risk with lot of dependence on multiple foreign companies or foreign technology. I think it is time to see from long-term perspective. We need to think from our uh, dependency, how we can eliminate the dependency. For that, I think a wide advancement which has brought the convenience accessibility to customer, but this have also added, the attack surface for cyber criminal, and that we have seen in banking and many other sectors. So we need to address this by developing or deploying many homegrown solutions which are tailored to unique requirement what we are facing. And to build such solution, I think collaborative effort between the government, the industry stakeholders, the academia, the policymaker, all this need to come forward and build such solution together. Because if we are growing at the leaps and bounds today on complete reliance on digital, and the fundamental part of or the foundation of the entire digital journey is not in your control, that could be a big kind of dependence, big risk in going future. So therefore I think that is one of the important aspects which need to address by various part of this sector. The second point I just want to flag here, that probably that is a mindset of our people, or maybe a society. We always bend to the Western world where great innovation has happened. But at the same time, when it comes to problem, we are always trying to compare our issue with them. I think that's where a lot of challenges what we are facing today. While we know the problem, we don't find a solution, because always we look to the east or west for finding a solution. So when it comes to a cybersecurity issue, it is important to recognize that our situation, India's situation, is distinct from many other countries around the world. That is because India has unique socio-economic landscape, the technology infrastructure, the government policy, which is significantly impacting on the nature and scope of the cyber threat. While the global trend and best practices can offer valuable insight how to address cybersecurity concern or any risk for that matter, it is very important to remember that solutioning that work in other parts of the world may not be as effective or may not be practical in India. This is because our cybersecurity challenges offer upon require a context specific solution. Like, if I had to give one example, like what is happening in Jamtara, or kind of social engineering problem here in India may not be the case in the rest of the world. How are you going to fit the solution which are existing in that part of the world in India's context? So, in that case, I think many people in India may not have same level of digital literacy. That is a different aspect. But when it comes to cyber security or solutioning part, we need to think purely from the Indian perspective. There is another angle which I must add here, that India has its own regulatory framework and policy around cybersecurity that can impact how organization and individuals approach digital security. And those regulations, I'm not talking only about the RBI, but be it SEBI or IRDA or TRAI and all other regulators, they are coming with very convergent cybersecurity regulation across the board. Therefore, the kind of newer tightening of the control has taken a different league altogether. So prevalence of certain type of cyber threat, such as those related to financial fraud or identity theft or data breach, may be more widespread in India due to factor of such that we have large population, the huge penetration going on, high level of economic inequality is also one of the factor where when I'm always talk about 20% people staying in India, remaining 80 in Bharat. So how we can balance between India and Bharat in terms of any innovation or any kind of solutioning part. So lot of challenges are there from those angles. Given this unique factor, it is crucial to develop context-specific solutions that can effectively address India's cybersecurity and IT challenges. That may involve probably working with the local stakeholder, leveraging the growth tech industry, the Startup India or Make in India, lot many other initiatives government has started. So those can be leveraged upon for tailoring such solutioning or maybe a strategy that need to meet a different community and organization across the country. The third point which I want to flag here, that outsourcing risk. I think unfortunately there is a mindset built across people that once we have outsourced to a MSP or the technology service provider, we are immune. I think that's a wrong concept built over a period of time, because you are you are outsourcing the work and not the strategy and responsibility. Because we generally outsource various IT functions like data processing or software development or the infrastructure management to third party. While that can help to reduce cost and improve operational efficiency, it is also expose them to additional risk due to difference in security posture. The best example, if I have to quote, which has very recently happened last week, the UCO Bank, where around 820 crore rupees, which is siphoned up a month back about in IMPS fraud. But eventually it has led to a third party vendor who was working for that bank. So to mitigate this kind of outsourcing risk effectively, it is very essential to ensure that convergent security approach where all stakeholders adhere to standardized cybersecurity protocol. Bank or any organization for that matter, they need to have these particular parameters factor into the corporate cybersecurity governance policy or risk policy, where the level of risk adherence or level of control environment what they're expecting in the bank or that particular organization, the same level of security posture has to be maintained by those outsourcing agency. This approach probably will help or in establishing such a framework would ensure that the service provider use similar tool and technology to secure their IT system and data for reducing the risk of security breaches. Collaborative approach between bank and their service provider is very essential for establishing the robust security framework. But this involves regular communication, oversight, monitoring, and to be part of their review process. Because one of the best control could have been implemented by UCO Bank, that when the change management was going on, they could have been part of the entire change management process, that what is being changed, how they are going to change, what is the fallback mechanism, what are the controls they have implemented in that, right? So such incident could have been managed in different way altogether. By working together, I think it is very, very important that the convergence among the service provider and service receiver both will get in similar fashion about managing the particular risk emanating out of such activities. My fourth point is about the kind of quality of compliance. I think that is where a lot of debate may happen in coming future because we have a clear say coming from PCI. We have certain employer vendor coming for audit. We have many other kind of service provider come and review your activities. Now, where is the compliance or quality of compliance? Because if you see in last couple of years, regulator has become so much so tough. And one thing I must tell you that at least the regulator where I am working with, the RBI, they are far superior knowledgeable as far as use of technology, the application of technology, and the risk emanating out of technology. So they are no more they are no more digitally uneducated. So how to manage quality of compliance? The problem is the banking sector is the primary target for any cyber attack, which is the known fact, where 70% of attack worldwide happening on banking sector. How to ensure compliance with cybersecurity standard and regulation has become paramount for the board, for the regulator, and for the management and the entire organization. So this requires multifaceted approach that include effective oversight mechanism. But while regulatory bodies play a crucial role in setting the guideline and monitoring of the compliance, it is important to have collaborative approach which involve industry association, independent auditor, and cybersecurity expert. Now, I don't want to get into how a certain empanel vendor is, empanel, but whether they are having adequate resources, whether they are having adequate knowledge about the complete, requirement coming out of the regulatory demand, who is going to validate them? Because the while empanelment happened, that happened for the organization, but what about the continuous activity performed by them, whether they are fitting into the criteria or not? I think these two three parameters are very very important to ensure that whoever is giving certificate, be it PCI, be it certain certification or SOC 1, SOC 2, whatever, that is very very important. Just to conclude my part, I think what we believe and what we think that cyber risk insurance, which comes to kind of expenses so far, and we are still thinking any insurance is expense. I think we need to change the mindset. We need to think about one particular, I think the fact that if we are not breached, we are going to breach. Now the data privacy law is in effect. We will have to adhere for that law, and for that, to prevention is better than cure. We need to think about putting cyber risk insurance in place. So today, I think if I had to summarize that in a hyper-connected world, India's banking sector or the entire BFSI sector that face plethora of cybersecurity threats, and to address that, we need to develop a ecosystem that is innovative, resilient, and secure. This can be achieved by fostering collaboration among various stakeholders, which include agency, regulatory bodies, the financial institution, and technology provider. Because I think if we are going at that speed, we need to encompass a lot of other things. But the most important thing is promoting awareness about latest threat and investing in cutting-edge security measures. India can navigate in digital transformation safety. Rather, we have already taken a lead. We need to sustain, and for that, we need to have very, very strong collaboration among all the stakeholders. I think I tried to explain or kind of throw some ideas for the audience. I think we need to work very, very in collaborative manner to make India safer and secure going forward. Thank you very much, sir. Thanks for giving this opportunity. I think if any question, any comment, I'll be happy to take, sir.